Okay, I don't know if it's recording to my cloud or a cloud that Rabbi can access, but it is what it is. Screen share. And okay, here we go. Where did we leave off?
The ladder.
Oh yeah, I was saying in in the Torah reading in shul today that Jacob should have made himself a big salami sandwich. Yeah, I know it's pretty bad, but I had to say it, and I had to say it again. Are we on verse 12?
Oh, I think we read that already. The angels were going up and
Oh,
down.
yep. So, verse 13. Okay. V'hinei Adonai nitza alav vayomar Adonai Elohei Avraham Avicha ve'Elohei Yitzchak haaretz asher ata shochev aleha lecha etnena uzarecha. And behold, the Lord was standing over him, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land upon which you are lying to you, I will give it into your seed. The land upon which you are, well,
There should be a
I guess
comma.
it does say Asher Ata Shachev Aleha. So I guess that's why it has the U in it twice. Okay, you could go. There are three Rashis.
Okay, let's see. Nitzav alav lishamro. So the Lord was standing over him to guard him, Rashi says.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, although I always wonder, like, why did Rashi bother to comment on that? Is there something ambiguous there?
Like he wasn't standing over him to like drop a big boulder on top of him and destroy him, you mean?
Nitzav alav. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is there. There's always something that triggers Rashi's comments, but I can't see what it is right there.
Well, I mean, another thing I could think of is that it's not like a prayer. It's not Jacob's prayer to God or anybody moving towards Jacob when Jacob's moving towards them, but God just moving towards Jacob alone. All from God towards Jacob, and not like it has been with the mountain and the other. You know what I'm saying?
He's just present. He's present there
And the other two examples, the one was with the mountain, and there was another one where Jacob was moving towards something and it moved towards him.
Yeah.
In this case, it's not Jacob, it's just God moving towards Jacob alone. So it's just everything from God and not, so it's just,
yeah,
maybe.
and he's
Just an example of grace. It's not an example of Jacob coming to him or asking from him, just as an example of grace, of just God's being there.
Right. Okay, and the next one is Ve'Elohei Yitzchak, אף על פי שלא מצינו במקרא שייחד הקדוש ברוך הוא שמו על הצדיקים בחייהם לכתוב אלוהי פלוני, משום שנאמר, הן בקדושיו לא יאמין. כאן ייחד שמו על יצחק, לפי שכהו עיניו, ובלא היה בבית, והרי הוא כמת. ויצר הרע פסק. Oh, okay. And the God of Isaac, although we do not find in scripture that the Holy One, blessed be he, associates his name with that of the righteous during their lifetimes by writing the God of so-and-so, for it is said in Job, lo, he does not believe in his holy ones. That is, God does not consider even his holy ones as righteous until after their deaths. when they are no longer subject to the evil inclination. Now that was in square brackets, so I don't know, maybe that's not Rashi, that's somebody else. Anyway, nevertheless, here he associated his name with Isaac because his eyes had become dim and he was confined in the house and he was like a dead person, the evil inclination having ceased from him.
Whoa.
Aha.
That's, I mean, whoa. So that, I mean, to me, being homebound and partially blind does not necessarily eliminate, natural urges or evil inclinations, but that's what, I guess that's Rashi's looking at. But what he's not, it's also interesting that Rashi says, wait a sec, Abraham was his grandfather, but he says Abraham your father and Isaac. He doesn't say, Abraham your grandfather or Isaac your father, or both of them referring to fathers, because he's doing it as spiritual, fathers. It's not parallel, in other words.
Well, Abraham had died by then, I guess, is the idea.
Yes.
So once
Okay.
he's dead, then God is willing to associate himself to call himself by his name. But normally, according to this commentary, normally God wouldn't say, "I am the God of someone who's alive." The God,
Okay.
I'm known as the God of Isaac because Isaac's still alive.
Okay.
Because as long as you're alive, you can still mess up and become an evil person and not be worthy of God's being called by your name.
Persona non grata.
Yeah, but I guess the idea was here, Isaac was equivalent to a dead person in that way. He wasn't there was no chance he was going to be overcome by his Yetzer Hara at this point.
Oh, okay. So he might still have the Yetzer Hara, but he wasn't going to be able to act on it because he was too disabled.
I think so. And if the Yetzer Hara in this case is a sexual, which it often means, then it would mean, he can't see anymore. He's not going to be tempted. He can't.
Yes.
And he can't go chasing after women.
His eyes won't lead him astray.
Yeah.
Like it says in the Shema or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Another Rashi.
Shachav aleha. Kipel HaKadosh Baruch Hu kol Eretz Yisrael tachtav. Ramaz lo shetehe nocha likavesh levanav. So the Holy One, blessed be He, folded the entire land of Israel under him. He hinted to him that it would be easily conquered by his children, as 4 cubits, which represent the area a person takes up when lying down.
I'm sorry. My phone rang, so it made the screen go away. Let's see. Sharing is paused. Bring your shared window to the front. I'm trying to. I don't know how. Oh, resume share. Okay.
I can still see your.
Okay, I couldn't though. Okay, sorry about that. Where were you?
So the Shachav Aleha, the land that you're lying on, I'm going to give it to you. And the Midrash, I guess, is that God folded the whole land up under him.
Whoa.
So that it was as if the whole land was just the space of 4 cubits, which represent the area a person takes up when lying down.
Well, so
it's another one of those strange
mystical,
physical, upheavals of nature where God is giving him the land. He's saying, it's yours. It's as if it's going to be easy to take this land, just as easy as it was to lie down on it.
I mean, it's interesting because, obviously that's kind of one of the type of things that goes against nature. You would think the land can't be all of the Holy Land can't be folded up like that and fit under him. And, so you could say that's a miracle, but so would the definition of a miracle be if God is doing something that's against nature? Because I kind of thought mostly he wouldn't.
Well, he's still dreaming, remember. This is still part of his dream, isn't it? He saw the angel. Well, I can't see the top of the page now, but
yeah,
he saw the ladder with the angels, right?
He dreamed. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't think we have to see it as something that physically happened, but it's like when you have a dream and then you wake up and you think about the dream and you realize, whoa, what a great metaphor,
Yeah. I mean, it's, and also if you have a dream like this, it's obviously meaningful and that wouldn't have been reported if it weren't. So maybe it's not, physically happening exactly, but the fact that he's dreaming about God's presence taking care of him in all these ways and promising him all this stuff. I mean, it's obviously meaningful. There's, it says something, it's not an ordinary dream.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably, he's the third generation now, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and he's in big trouble with his father and with his brother, and he's walking alone through walking on this long journey all by himself. The idea that his descendants are actually going to become a great kingdom and have this land for their land, and be blessed by God and all these different ways, it seems pretty far-fetched to him. So this dream comes and gives him an image, a physical image of, oh, you've got this, you've got this in the palm of your hand.
Reassurance, yeah.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it because it's going to happen, and it's going to be as simple as lying down on the ground and taking a nap.
Right. Yeah, I'm here with you, and really I'll do all the work. You're just gonna be there for the ride. It is really right now God is doing all the work. In the dream he is, but he's kind of promising that he's going to be the one that's enabling everything. I mean, obviously Jacob couldn't do it without God.
Right, and that may be especially relevant to Jacob because up to now, he's done a certain amount of, we could say, conniving and manipulating and managing things. And he felt like, oh, I have to make this happen, but it's like the dream is coming to tell him, you don't have to make everything happen by yourself.
But I also wonder, you're bringing up his manipulations and, you can look at it on one level as this is a part of an immature character who's not trusting God enough, who's not, who wants to be manipulative and deceitful to get his way, the ends justify the means. There's a lot of negative ways to look at that I think are important. But also I wonder, but is he actually, to what extent is this fulfillment of what had to be what God wanted? Could he, but then could have this been accomplished without that manipulation, as far as his having the blessing, especially the birthright, one thing, but the blessing especially.
Yeah, well, that's a question. It's a good question. Like how, if he had been more trusting from the beginning and sort of sat back and let things take their course, what would have happened?
Yeah, would the course have been going the right way with, because of God's help? Because God certainly hadn't reassured him in that way earlier. In fact, the opposite. God, oh no, it was Isaac that the trauma happened to, but I'm sure Jacob knew about it. Wouldn't he have?
I would assume so, yeah.
I think he would be somehow affected by it, whether he, but I also think about that with the Joseph story and all these horrible things and brothers selling them into slavery. And when I saw the musical, I was kind of angry at it because it's kind of like saying this is all kind of, God's plan and this and that. But I understand, and in a certain sense it is, but in the certain sense, when you see something as evil, and to what extent is it helping God's plan, selling your brother into slavery, or this kind of, lying to your parents or whatever. So that's,
Yeah.
It's a-
I don't think, that's a really good question. I don't think we're meant to think that it absolutely had to be the way, any of these stories had to be this way. They were this way, and the people who are doing these things had other choices. Like, what if Yaakov had said to his mother, I don't feel good about lying to my father. I'd really rather not do this. What would have happened then? Let's not try to trick my father.
yeah, like maybe she could have pleaded with him, and because she was the wife, she would have had some kind of standing that he would have wanted to please her. So yeah, it's so we're okay. So are we on a new
I think it's wait, now I don't see, where are we?
okay. Yeah, so we're on 14 now.
Okay.
Okay. V'haya zaracha ka'afar haaretz ufartzta yama v'kedma v'tzafona v'negba v'nivrechu v'cha kol mishpachot ha'adama uvzarecha. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall gain strength westward and eastward and northward and southward. And through you shall be blessed all the families of the earth, and through your seed. And
Rashi, ufaratzta ve'chizakta kamo v'chein yifrot. So he says, and you shall gain strength. In Hebrew, it's ufaratzta, as in v'chein yifrot, and so did they gain strength, from Exodus 1:12 after the Targum.
so are faratzta and hizakta synonyms?
I wouldn't have guessed so, because ufaretzta usually is translated to mean spread out.
Oh, okay. And that's what it says in the right. It says spread out and gain strength.
Isn't
I don't. That translation seems odd.
What are you saying, Judith? Is that you?
Chizakta is chazak.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that song, Ufaratsta,
Right.
That as spread out. I don't think they're synonymous. I don't see how they would be synonymous here.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a very strange comment. I don't get it.
Well, so maybe they're saying that the spreading out is either a sign that there's strength, or a source of the strength, or both, kind of chicken and egg. It's interesting. The Jewish people didn't spread out like dust. We're kind of like, but if you count other people as like our seed, in other words, like other people who are in Abrahamic religions or whatever, certainly then there's more people, but there's still division and less strength in some ways. I don't, but how Rabbi always says blessing is about abundance and increase, and certainly increase can cause strength.
Yeah, and yet spreading out and getting strong are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand that Rashi, but I don't see. I suppose if we had a commentary on Rashi, we could maybe. Well, maybe later I'll look that up and see if I can find anything more.
Well, it does say something about the Targum, and actually, I can go to Safari and look up see about it, looking that up. I don't know, or we can go on.
Yeah, why don't we go on? Because anyway, the Targum we'd have to understand the Aramaic.
Well, I'm sure in Safari it would translate it, but
Oh, it does. It translates that too.
I don't think they're just Safari. I think translates everything. I don't think it's a tool for for Torah commentary and Torah study, and it's not only for people who are fluent.
Oh, okay. Wait, I actually have a book here with the Targum, and it's not so hard to understand. It says Vihon Banayich Sagin Ka'afra Da'ara, which means I get most of that. And your children shall be like the dust of the earth. In other words, like a great multitude.
Mm-hmm.
Ka'afra Da'ara. Vatit Kef Lamarava Ulamedina. Yeah, Vatit Kef. Now that I don't know. It's a puzzlement.
Is a puzzlement. All right, let's go on to Tetvav. Okay. Vahine anochi imach ushmarticha b'chol asher telech v'hashivvoticha el ha'adama hazot ki lo e'ezevcha ad asher im asiti et asher dibarti lach. And behold, I'm with you, and I will guard you wherever you go, and I will restore you to this land, for I will not forsake you until I've done what I've spoken concerning you. And 3 Rashis.
Okay, Anochi imach, lefi shehaya yarei ma'asav. Slicha, lefi shehaya yarei me'esav umilavan. I am with you, and God promised Jacob this because Jacob, was afraid of Esau and Laban. Okay, so again, it's the idea of God reassuring him. Ad asher im asiti im meshamesh balashon ki. Until I have done. Im here is used to mean ki, which is that. Until I do.
I will not forsake you. Imasiti, that I did, maybe because. It is meaning that, but I mean, ki does mean because I promised you, I've spoken concerning you. Because makes sense.
Yeah, because I will not leave you, or for I will not leave you, and I will not forsake you. Yeah.
Wasn't the quote Al Tirei Yaakov from God to Jacob much, or was that a quote from God to Jacob or from his sons? Al Tirei, don't worry, Jacob. Don't fear. I mean, so there's a lot of, I don't remember when that was and where, but I mean, I remember the quote, but it's a lot of reassurance. Jacob, is kind of portrayed as being very fearful. And I think that was a later thing. So maybe even later in life.
Yeah, he needs a lot of reassurance.
Yeah. Okay.
Dibarti lach letzorchecha ve'alecha. מה שהבטחתי לאברהם על זרעך, לך הבטחתיו ולא לעשיו, שלא אמרתי לו כי יצחק יקרא לך זרע, אלא כי ביצחק ולא כל יצחק. וכן כל לי ולך ולך ולא, ולהם הסמוכים אצל דיבור משמשים לשון על. וזה יוכיח שהרי אם יעקב לא דיבר קודם לכן.
Sounds like grammar's coming up.
Yeah, so Hebrew, for your benefit and concerning you. In other words, the word lecha, what does it mean here? Dibarti lecha, it means concerning you. Oh, we had this before where it sounded like it meant to you, but actually it means concerning you.
Mm-hmm.
What I promised Abraham concerning his seed, I promised in reference to you, and not in reference to Esau. For I did not say to him, for Isaac will be called your seed, which would signify that all of Isaac's descendants would be regarded as Abraham, but for in Isaac, meaning part of Isaac's descendants, but not all the descendants of Isaac. And that's from the Nedarim 31. Likewise, however, wherever le, lo, and li and lahem are used in conjunction with a form of the verb speaking, they are used in the sense of concerning. Oh yeah, this is a repeat of something we saw. This verse proves it because heretofore he had not spoken to Jacob.
Well,
okay.
I don't know if I understand that middle part about how he's saying that it's obvious that it doesn't refer to Esau's seed because of the term in Isaac. Do you understand that? Or any of you?
I guess there's a verse earlier on which talks about vaYitzchak.
Yeah. Isaac will be called your seed, which could signify that all of Isaac, but in Isaac, meaning part of. Now, why is in Isaac meaning part of Isaac? I guess because they're not referring to Isaac, but they're referring to something inside of him. But
yeah, I would have. I don't know. You know, it would be good if we knew what verse that was, and we could look back and see where that is. But I guess because there's a preposition there, any preposition, you know, "ba," or the "ba" signifies we're not talking about all of Isaac. We're talking about something coming from Isaac, but not all of
so grammatically, it would have made sense without the "ba," but the addition of the "ba" is what's being answered here, kind of.
Yeah, it would have made sense, but it would have meant something different. It would have meant all of Isaac's descendants, according to this Rashi. And then, but because we had the "ba," we could have foreseen that only, you know, that not all of Isaac's descendants are going to be his heirs.
I guess we have time for the one more because it's short. Vayikatz Yaakov Mishnato v'yomer achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh v'anochi lo yadati. Jacob awakened from his sleep and said, "Indeed, the Lord is in this place, and I didn't know it." One short Rashi here.
V'anochi lo yadati. She'ilo yadati lo yashanti b'makom kadosh zeh. And I did not know it, for had I known, I would not have slept in such a holy place. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time for you guys to go to shul, and I'll stop this. I'll stop the recording and the share. Stop share. Now, stop recording.